Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure always to be with you and to share a few thoughts with you today. The last couple of times we've done these fireside chats, I was talking about people whose goodness has made a difference in the life of other people, people like Newt Rockney. And so I'd like to share something of that same style today. It's a story I want to read to you, but I think it has an appropriate presence at this Christmas season in a special way. His name was Fleming, and he was a poor Scottish farmer. One day, while trying to make a living for his family, he heard a cry for help coming from a nearby bog. He dropped his tools and ran to the bog. There, mired to his waist in black muck, was a terrified boy, screaming, struggling to free himself. Farmer Fleming saved the lad from what could have been a slow and terrifying death. The next day, a fancy carriage pulled up to the Scotsman's sparse surroundings. An elegantly dressed nobleman stepped out and introduced himself as the father of the boy Farmer Fleming had saved. "I want to repay you," the nobleman said. "You saved my son's life." "No, I can't accept payment for what I did," the Scottish farmer replied, waving off the offer. At that moment, the farmer's own son came to the door of the family hovel. "Is that your son?" the nobleman asked. Yes, it is," the father replied quite proudly. "I'll make you a deal. Let me provide him with the level of education my own son will enjoy. If this lad is anything like his father, he'll no doubt grow to be a man we both will be proud of." And so he did. Farmer Fleming's son attended the very best schools and in time graduated from St. Mary's Hospital Medical School in London and went on to become known throughout the world as the noted Sir Alexander Fleming, the discoverer of penicillin. Isn't that amazing? The story goes on. Years afterward, the same nobleman's son, who was saved from the bog, was stricken with pneumonia. What saved his life this time was penicillin. The name of the nobleman, Lord Randolph Churchill. His son's name, the son who was saved from the bog, Sir Winston Churchill. Isn't that amazing? Good begets good. And that really is what the story of Christmas is all about. God's going forth, coming amongst us, and we in some way trying to replicate that image of God's self-giving. We see it so much today in people, particularly in the field of medicine, when we think of the discovery of penicillin, all that's going on to save us and to save those, to heal those who've been afflicted with this coronavirus. But that notion of Christmas, last year, Pope Francis, in his homily at St. Peter's, said this: "Christmas reminds us that God continues to love us, to me, to you, to each of us. God says today, I love you, I will always love you, you are precious in my eyes." God does not love us because we think and act in the right way. God loves us plain and simple. God's love is unconditional. God's love for us does not depend on us. And so, God's message to all of us in this Christmas season, God says to each of us, I love you. I will always love you. You are precious in my eyes. That's God's message to each of us in this Christmas season. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and may Christmas be a very special, blessed time for you and for your family. Christmas peace, everybody.